Hey guys, this is Biswajit. Welcome to my channel, IshaDevops. So today we will discuss on what is DevOps, how you can make your career in DevOps, and in 2024, what is the most important tools you should learn so that it will be better for you and you can make your career a better growth-wise and everything. What is the most important tools in DevOps? So let's start. So DevOps aspects, we will first learn what is the steps: plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, and implement and monitoring. So these are the aspects which we follow normally in DevOps. Okay. So let's continue to our steps. So DevOps means transforming software development. So development plus operations is DevOps, right? So in the dev part where we do the plan, okay, we plan, we get the requirement of the planning, what is the best way to plan the code, and what will be used to plan for that particular any software project is coming. First you have to plan what are the tools, what are the technologies you require. Let's say it's say you are looking for a Java code, you are looking for a .NET code. Okay, so let's come to the plan. It's completed, and in planning tool in our industry, we have so many aspects where we can understand what is the planning tool, and I will mention here a couple of the tools for each steps which will be essential, right? So let's open your notepad where we can understand the aspects of the planning, and based on that you can also understand, okay, these are the tools we require mostly for planning tool. Okay, so let's say plan. Okay, for plan, first thing is let's increase the view, right? Okay. Mhm. Okay, so first thing is Jira. You know, you have Jira tickets, Atlassian tool, it is Jira, where you have the tickets. You have to understand what is the exact way of planning, which code to build, what is your application, your admin application or your login applications. So you have to prepare your plan accordingly in the Jira. Azure boards also we use, let's say Azure tool, where to plan the application. So there are multiple planning tools where you have to plan the project, how you have to continue, right? So then we will come to the code, right? What is code? Code, we will come. Let's say we have to build the code. Let's say we decide what is the code we will use. We use Java code, we use Python code, we use Go code. What is the language you use for the code? We use .NET code. So let's say we decide to go with the Java code, right? So that is the code we will build. We'll build application with that particular code. Let's say Java, Python, .NET, right? Or Go. Multiple tools are there, and for the front end it's React, okay, Angular, Node. So many front end and back end applications we have, and accordingly we have the code, okay, the languages. So this is the code. Okay, let's say code is built, and after that we have, sorry, code is done. Okay, we have the files ready, we have the required code is written by the developers, and it is ready for us. Okay, so we have to then build that application, right? So for build we have certain tool, Maven. So Maven we use for build tool. It's a certain types of Ant, okay, Gradle, mostly we use for Android based application. Okay, so Android Studio for Android based application. We have Xcode. Okay, plugins, so that is for build tool uh, we use. So mostly these are the mainly build tool we use. And for Azure CI we use, okay, for the build applications. Or we have couple of other applications where we have the build tools. So many build tools we have in the market. Okay, we have Python build tool. Okay, and we have Maven and Ant for Java build tool. We have VS Code where we can build for .NET applications, and many other applications we can do. It's also used as editor. Okay, we can also build applications. So next we'll go to test. So test, we have unit testing mainly in the initial stage. So you have JUnit, okay, or Selenium. So we use for the testing part. After the build is done, we have to test. We have to get the artifacts. And after that, when after the build will be after build is done, we have all the build will be attached as a artifacts. So artifacts means we have zip file, we have war file. You understand, whoever working in the Java or who is working in the .NET, they understand that it's a zip file or war file or csproj file, or depends. Okay, whatever the language, they have that type of file after the build is done. Okay, so then we have to test that file. When the build is done, we have to test it, said the build is correct according to our environment, it's working fine. Okay, whatever it is, it is working fine and it is running locally correctly. So that's the test we have to do in the JUnit and Selenium. We have to do the unit testing. Okay, then we will do the release. So release applications is where we have to uh, release that. Okay, for that we need a pipeline. Pipeline in the sense, we have Jenkins. Okay, we have Azure pipelines. Okay, we have GitHub Actions. Okay, nowadays we have GitLab. We have Argo CD. Okay, so there are multiple release tools nowadays we have, where we can, after the build is done, we can do the release. Okay. Hello. Sorry. The call got disconnected. Yeah, myself. Okay. So we were here, the release thing. And next we'll go to deploy. So deploy, for deploying applications, we are nowadays, we can directly deploy that to the particular server. Okay. Or we can use a tool. Okay. Let's say we have Helm charts. We have Kubernetes. We have Docker. Okay. We have Azure pipelines. We have Jenkins. We have Argo CD. So these all are there to deploy the application. So release is done. Okay. So release application means we have to, after build, we have to release that application as a artifacts or as a storage. Okay. After release is done, we have to deploy that in a particular server. So for that, we have uh, these many tools in the market. Helm, Kubernetes, Docker, mainly Kubernetes, Docker, everyone is aware of that, right? So these all things are important for deploying other applications, right? After the pipelines is done, so once the pipeline is ready, okay, here, and we have to deploy that through this type of applications. So then we have to operate. Okay, So operate means we have to understand. Okay, let's say we have the pipelines is there. Okay, we have to operations. Okay, so there are a couple of tools which used for the operations activities. Okay, let's say Dynatrace is there. Okay, we have Grafana. Okay, uh, and let's say we have ELK stack. Okay, so these are the operating tool. Okay, where we operate the logs or we operate the infra. Okay, so these all things we have to do. So mostly operating and monitoring tools are the same nowadays. Okay, so we have Azure Monitor. Okay, where we have to monitor the pipelines, infrastructure, everything. Okay, so let's say we have um, um, we have let's say Azure Monitor is there. We have Grafana is there. Or let's say Prometheus is there. This is one Kafka we use, right? Apache Kafka, Prometheus, right? So these all are tools. Kibana, okay. So these are all tools we use for monitoring. Instana, okay, so many tools are there. Okay, for monitoring purpose. Once your things are ready, okay, your plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, and operations, okay, all things are ready. So once your complete code is ready, okay, your server is ready, your code is ready, your deployment has been done, everything is done, but still you will face some crunch, right? Sometimes the pipeline failure is there, sometimes the server is down, sometime your pipeline is running, suddenly your pipeline crashed. Why it is crashed? So you should monitor those aspects, right? So for this we have this Azure Monitor, Grafana, Prometheus, whatever you have, your open source tools you want to use, these all are there. Grafana, Prometheus, or Azure Monitor is a paid service of the Azure service, you can use that. This is also good if you are working as a Azure cloud, okay, environment, it's good. Anything you want to monitor, you can use Azure Monitor. And Kibana, Instana are also. Kibana is a part of ELK stack where we can monitor the logs. Sorry. Uh, okay, logs and all. And Instana is also there where we can you monitor everything. Like it's a part of IBM tool where we monitor everything like the tools of infrastructure, pipelines, any codes or any cron jobs, anything you have. Okay, you are using. So these all aspects are there for DevOps where you have to use. We don't have to learn every tools I have discussed. These are so many aspects, so many things, multiple tools use in company to company. Okay, varies from company to company. So whatever they are using, if you understand the concept, what you are doing in plan, what we are doing in code, what we are doing in build, what we are doing in test, what we are doing in release, what we are doing in deploy, what we are doing in operate, and what we are doing in monitor. So it's very easier. Any tool is given to you, it will be same. The mechanism is same, right? So you are only using the tools differently. So you should understand these are the DevOps aspect, which we understand the particular thing. So let's go to introduction. What is DevOps? So DevOps is a set of practices that combine software development and IT operations. DevOps, development operations, to shorten the system development lifecycle, deliver high quality software continuously. So the key goals is collaborations, communication, and automation. Okay, so these are the key goals now. Okay, whatever we are using, these are the DevOps aspect. Okay, now the collaboration, communication, or automation aspect, I will discuss something where is my notepad? Okay, so here, collaboration and communication. Okay, so there are a couple of tools, okay, which we people use for our collaboration and communication. One is Slack, one is MS Teams. Okay, so this is Microsoft Teams will be integrated with Azure pipelines or Jenkins for the notification purpose. Okay, so let's say some pipelines fails. Okay, so you have given some build, you have given some release. Let's say your build failed or your release failed or your deployment failed. So immediately you will get a notification on the Teams. Let's say you are DevOps group. Okay, it will get a notification. Suddenly it will start working. So you have the collaboration, communication, and your Slack channel. It will be on mobile or the computer or your device. Okay, once you will start get the notification, you will start working on that. So this is very important nowadays in any industry, any company. Collaboration and communication is very important. We have a development group, we have a testing group, we have a DevOps group. Okay, you have a support group. So every guy has their own aspects. Let's say developer has the connect to the the server, the dev server, and they have the production pipelines or dev pipelines access. So once the pipeline failure is there, they will get the notification. Okay, so if there is any issue, they will start monitoring, they will start working on that. So same way, we have a group in the DevOps. So once all the pipelines would be associated to that group. So any pipelines fails, they will start monitor, they will start go find the root cause. If it is infrastructure level, they will solve it. Otherwise, if it's a development level code related issue, they will transfer it to the development team. So let's say testing team, let's say a test pipeline fails, it will be attached to the testing team in the MS Teams or in the Slack. So in pipeline failure, they will get a notification. Immediately they will start working. Why the testing pipelines fails? If it's infrastructure related failure, they will inform the DevOps team. Otherwise, they will start working on the testing pipelines fails because of their tools or their code. They will start working on that. So this is the collaboration immediately. Okay, so it doesn't take times. Okay, so this is one thing, and one is automation. Okay, so automation is a very important is now in the current scenario, every damn thing needs automation. Okay, so we have PowerShell, we have Python, we have Bash. Okay, mostly Bash were used if you have a Linux. Okay, Linux shell is there, you have Linux operating systems. Okay, you use Bash shell. Okay, so we need Linux environment for sure for Bash scripting. Okay, so for Bash scripting, if let's say you have a task, okay, every day at say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you have to run that application. So you can write an automation script, it will run that application. So every database, every day you have to clean up at a particular time, or let's say every day, anytime you can clean up. So you can write an automation task and you can clean up that. Okay, let's say you want to send a notification. Okay, once your pipeline is successful. Okay, so you have to write an automation task so that you will get the notification once the pipeline is successful. So everywhere automation is needed. Any tool, any language, scripting language you can use. Bash scripting, PowerShell is used if you have Windows as the operating system. PowerShell is used only for Windows environment. Okay, any other environment also you can use as a script. Okay, but not as a like if you want to write a code from the scratch, you need a Windows environment. Python is, you have Python environment like when or any environment you can use. Any environment Python works, but it has in you have to install the Python CLI and all, you can start working. Okay, PowerShell CLI also you can install in the Linux and all, you can start working. Same Bash also, Bash CLI you can install in the Windows, you can start working. So they have their own CLI as well. Okay, but if you have the installed versions in your system, you can start working any of the scripting. Whichever one scripting you are good, you can start working. If you are very good in Bash, that's fine. If you are very good in Python, that's fine. If you are very good in PowerShell, you're fine. Okay, multiple scripting is not required. Any one scripting you are good. Okay, you are to be best, then it's good. Okay, you are very good means you have a very good career prospect in DevOps. Okay, in DevOps anywhere automation is very important thing. Okay, you are writing a pipeline for the build, you are writing a pipeline for release, and nowadays we are using YAML script. Okay, YAML script. So that's used for pipelines. And we have Groovy script. Okay, that's used for Jenkins or any other pipeline we want to use. So these are the script we use mostly whenever these are the main scripting. Okay, we use if we don't have any pipeline also. But YAML scripting and Groovy scripting we use mostly. YAML we use for Azure pipelines we write, or any Kubernetes pipeline, any Kubernetes YAML we want to write for the manifest files, and Groovy script we write for Jenkins. Any Jenkins file we write, we use Groovy scripting. Okay, so these all are very important because if you want to get into DevOps, okay, scripting is very important. Without scripting, Okay, you will be little bit it will be very difficult for you to manage. So any scripting, either YAML, Groovy, Bash, Python, you should learn that. Basics is fine. Okay, advanced, it's good for you, but focus should be on automation. Okay, any very good you are in automation, your package increases 100%. It's my guarantee. Let's go to key principles of DevOps. Collaboration. Collaboration is breaking down silos between development and operations team. Okay. Continuous integration and continuous deployment, automating the software delivery process. Let's say infrastructure as a code, and managing and provisioning the infrastructure through code. Automation, reducing the manual automation. So these are the key aspects which we will discuss. So let's say discuss about DevOps tools and technologies, what we should learn as a basic level. Let's say Git. You know, code for code, we use Git, right? For repositories. Okay. So once your code is built, okay, you need to store that in a particular repository so that everyone has access to that code. So let's say we use Git. So you should understand the Git commands, how you push the codes, how you pull the codes, okay, how you change the codes, or any multiple, you are pushing the branches, create branches, release branches, do the PR or pull request, okay, or any code commit, or any, any code conflict occurs, what you will do, merge conflict occurs, what you will do. These all steps you should learn. Okay, there's a basic. A Git is basic. Any tool you'll use, you need Git, Bitbucket or Git or any other thing. Git commands is must. Okay, so that's for your thing. This is the initial part. You should learn Git first. Second thing is continuous integration. Integration is once your Git is done, you will build the application, right? So for the builder application, you need continuous integration tool where your Git will be integrated, okay, to this application. Let's say Jenkins or Azure DevOps or any other application. I will, you focus first Git, then Jenkins. I will singularity explain on 2024, which is very important, which you will get 70%, 80% job will focus on this. Okay. So Git and Jenkins, if you are very good in Git or Jenkins, you'll get a job. Okay. So Jenkins, let's say, automate the building and testing of code changes or ensuring any early detection of the issues. So you should understand how to set up Jenkins, okay, and how to build the pipelines, create the pipelines for the build and release in the Jenkins. Okay, this is the initial step. Install Jenkins in any server, in Azure server or in AWS server or in GCP server, okay, and how to create the pipelines for fetching the code from Git and deploying it to any server, any GCP server or any Azure server or any AWS server. You have to deploy the code, right? Like after building is done, you have to deploy that particular artifact for the, that's you should know. This is continuous integration is done, integrating from Git to Jenkins and integrating, getting the code and building and storing the artifact. This is continuous integration. Continuous integration is only integrating the changes, automating the building and testing of the code changes. Means the step will be mostly integrate the Git, okay, build the code, okay, test the code changes, okay, and store the artifacts. Okay, if there is an issue, build it and it's successful, integration is done. Deployment is different aspect where you have to deploy that. Same, you have to create another pipeline. In the same pipeline you can do the deployment. Deployment, we use Docker or Kubernetes. We have to containerize the application. So direct deployment nowadays no one prefers, because any multiple environments, it will be very difficult. If you have one containerization, okay, you have to containerize that particular application with its dependencies and everything, and you can deploy in Linux environment, in Windows, in Mac OS, anything, any environment. Okay, if you don't containerize it, it's very difficult. If your code is built also, you have to again deploy that. Let's say your code is built in Windows server, right? You are not containerizing that. Again, you have to let's say another of your, let's say your project manager or client has Linux server. Okay, whenever you are deploying that to client server, it will not work, because there are different dependencies, different mechanisms, which is very difficult. Okay, so this solves by containerization. Docker, Kubernetes and all we use for continuous deployment, which is easier. You build in any environment. Okay, once Docker, Kubernetes come in place, it will deploy that in any environment. Okay, because they containerize, they do it in containerized box, and they deploy that with all the dependencies and all management. Then we use Docker and Kubernetes for continuous deployment. So you should learn Git, Jenkins, Docker, or Kubernetes. These are the four aspects. Focus. Then configuration management. This is not a very important aspect, but if you have, that's well and good. Okay. Configuration management is automate configuration and management of infrastructure. Let's say you have created an infrastructure. Okay. You have to manage that infrastructure. Let's say one VM you have created, you have to create 10 VMs, 20 VMs, 30 VMs. You write one script. Okay. Like Ansible, you have playbooks, Ansible playbooks. One playbook you'll write. Okay. One VM is written, you have to write a playbook, and based on that playbook you can create multiple VMs, or you can stop that VM, or you can delete that VM, anything you can do. Okay. Same like Puppet and Safe. Nowadays Puppet and Safe is not very used because it's a very old tools. Okay. Nowadays no one, so many people using, still people are using there. So these are the configuration management tools. It's an added advantage if you learn, that's better. Okay. But most focused thing is till continuous deployment, right? Second thing is infrastructure as code. It's a very famous and nowadays a booming thing in the market. If you are a DevOps engineer, if you are very good in infrastructure as a code along with all those tools, for sure you will get 2 times, 3 times more salary of the rest of the DevOps engineers. Okay. So now the most popular tool is Terraform. There are other tools as well. Okay. Let's Pulumi for GCP, and there are Azure infrastructure tool which people are using. So mostly Terraform is a we can say it's a AWS tool, but it's not AWS. It's open source tool. Okay, it has is HashiCorp. HashiCorp has created this. Okay, so infrastructure as a code. What is that? Let's say you have created your infrastructure. You have created your server, you have created your network, you have created your database, or you have created anything you have created in Azure or in local or anything. Okay. It's a better way you can do convert it to a code. Okay. Now you have manually created that. Now you can convert it to a code. So it will be stored as a file, right? So that's better way. Why? Because once it is stored, okay, every steps with all the dependencies, everything is there. So you can redeploy again and again. Okay. You don't have to manually do, like, let's say we are creating a virtual machine in Azure. Okay. Let's say we are creating a AWS VPC, or let's say EC2 instance. We have to go to different pages, right? First page, second page, third page, fourth page, and that also we have to remember what we are doing, what we are doing, what we are doing. So let's say if everything what you have done, you will be given a code and a file. Okay. And all the steps are there. Okay. Once you want to deploy another VM as the same you have created previously, you have to just deploy that file. You don't have to manually do that thing. It's very easier, right? That's why it's so much popular, right? So Terraform nowadays people are we really focusing. Any DevOps engineer, they are focusing Terraform because they have to their infrastructure, they have to codonize that, they have to use IAC, because that's very easier for them to manage that thing, infrastructure as a code. Okay, their complete infrastructure will be in a folder. It's very good for them, right? So nowadays people are using Terraform for infrastructure as a code, for creating a virtual machine, any server, any database, any network. Okay. They are not creating manually, they are creating through code. So we can use Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply. Okay. So then it will be applied. Okay. Your Terraform will be installed in your application, in your system. You can do that. So apart from that, we can use pipelines for infrastructure. Once your code is ready, you can use a Azure pipeline or Jenkins pipeline for infrastructure pipeline. You can push that code. You have a repository or a storage account where you can store the Terraform files, and you can lock it. So no one can touch that infrastructure as a code. Let's say someone fetch that, and someone redeploy that, and your infrastructure will be deleted. It's a blunder, right? So you have to store that in a safe place, and you have to lock it. There are so much mechanism. So Terraform is very much important. You should focus on that. Monitoring and logging aspect. So anything monitoring and logging aspect, mostly people use for Prometheus, ELK stack, Kibana, Grafana. We have discussed so many tools. So mostly ELK stack is used for logging. Okay, let's say you have so many logs. We have Elasticsearch. Okay, it will store the logs. What developers are pushing that, it will be stored and it will show us in Kibana. You can monitor that. Okay, Prometheus is same. Whatever the infrastructure or whatever, Dynatrace is one that where you can monitor the complete infrastructure and pipelines and the logs, and you can do the analysis and detect the issues or performances accordingly. Okay, so this is also you can means that that's a better way. Once you will, that's if you learn previously, that's better. If you have industry exposure, that's better. Otherwise, you can learn it in internet. It's available. What is Prometheus? What is ELK stack? You have to understand like what you are doing and how you are doing that. Okay, so let's say collaboration and communication. So collaboration and communication means let's say you have to understand what is collaborating with the team. Okay, as I already explained, you have to enhance your communication and collaboration with the development and operations team and testing team. So use Slack and Microsoft Teams in collaboration and monitoring aspects. Okay, then we will go to what is next slide, automation and scripting. We already discussed automation and scripting, Bash, Python, PowerShell, any of the scripting, Groovy, YAML, we can use that. So description is we use scripting for automated tasks, cron jobs, ensure code quality and reliability. Apart from that, these are the DevOps aspect. What we learn, let's say we learn Git, we learn Jenkins, we learn Docker and Kubernetes. Let's say this one we'll ignore. Let's say we'll add one more, Ansible. We'll learn Terraform. 6 tools, and this monitoring and logging. Any company varies with the monitoring tools. So this is not a very difficult thing. You have monitoring tool. You can see how they are monitoring that. You can monitor that. So it's not like very difficult aspect, but still, if you want to learn it, you can learn it. But main focus is this: Git, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Terraform, and Ansible. Ansible, if you don't learn, also fine. 5 tools is must. And collaboration wise, Slack, Microsoft Teams, once you will start working, you'll understand how they are using that. Okay, and automation scripting. Sorry, one more is very important. This is 6th point. This is automation scripting, either Bash or Python or PowerShell. Out of the 3, anything is easier for you. You just try the demo. Which one is easier for you? Focus on that. Okay, you should. Automation scripting is must, guys. I'm again telling. Okay, so use scripting for automation tasks and cron jobs. Ensure code quality and reliability for that. So cloud services. If you are a normal DevOps engineer, okay, you work in on-premises, you work in cloud and all. Okay, so every cloud has their own aspects, their own services. But if you work in one cloud, another cloud is also easier for you. But it's not very much easier because everyone has their own way of working. Okay, so whatever cloud services you are good, you can focus on that area and you can start researching. You can start working more. You can start creating more resources and all. You can focus more on that. Let's say you are an Azure expert. Okay, you have let's say in your initial career you have exposure to Azure. Okay, so start learning, exploring Azure more. You will get jobs in Azure related scope only. Okay, let's say if you will by chance, if you are luck, you are Azure engineer for 2 years, 3 years, you got a project where you have AWS in place. That's fine. You have 2 skills, AWS and Azure. And in there, because what will happen now after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years? Okay, if you will learn a new technology, okay, that will be better for you. But side by side, it will be difficult for you because you have worked in other aspects. Okay, so if you have all the 3 cloud experience, that's good. But focus on one cloud, at least one cloud. You should have experience. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Everyone has their free learning material in the internet and website. You can go through there and you can learn it. So cloud services, leverage cloud services for scalable and flexible infrastructure. Okay, so DevOps with cloud is a must. These are the DevSecOps. You heard about now one market. It's a new term, DevSecOps, right? So DevSecOps we use for the security perspective. Very important nowadays. In any company you will go, security is the primary concern, right? So you should understand what DevSecOps is. So DevSecOps means DAST and SST. Okay, dynamic security and static security. Static security means code quality analysis or any analysis after the pipeline is done. Let's say SonarQube for code quality, OWS is JAP scanner you use for DevSecOps. Once your code is built, okay, they will scan that code is in the right way, or whatever it is fetching from website, it is authenticated web. There is no threat, no virus, because the virus attacks is a must. Means any organization will go in, if there is a virus attack, it will lose crores of rupees. So that's a security is a must. Any banking organization will go with that security. They will not prefer a single tool, not even a write a one word also. Okay, so security is must. So if apart from the dynamic security, once your application is built, still you are hosting that in a you have your SSL ready and you are hosting in online. So there also you will have dynamic security scanning. Let's say Qualys and OWS also you have Zap scanner in that. So these all things you have to implement in the pipelines. Okay, you should understand how you have to integrate SonarQube for code quality, how you have to integrate Zap scanner in the code quality. There are Black Duck. There are so many security tools are there. You should understand one or two tools which to integrate. Okay, once you have done to use and integrate, that's fine. Okay, so this is one aspect you should learn in 2024, which is DevSecOps, any SAST, SonarQube or AWS Zap Scanner. These are the two things you should find out and learn. So why DevOps is important in the market? Because continuous integration and deployment reduce release cycles. So there are so many release cycles in a project, right? Release 1, release 2, release 3, release 4. Let's say we have a project. We have one release 1. We are focusing on some initial, development of that particular application. Release 1 is done. Then we'll go to release 2. That is also done. Release 3. But in DevOps, what is easier because of this Jira and this marketing and we have so many collaboration and communication. So it's easier for us. Previously, one release cycle was taking 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. Now only 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks. That's it. The release is done. So that's because of power. Okay, everything is collaborated. Planning, building, coding, testing, releasing, deploying. Everything is integrated. So that's why it's very easier. Faster releasing is happening. So improved collaboration. So we have to communicate between the teams. Previously everyone has their own teams and everyone collaborating is very difficult because there are no tools to organize. People are in the inside the organization, people are collaborating themselves and talking to them. That's it. Now if you are anywhere in the world, you can communicate. Let's say you are your testing team is in Malaysia and your development team is in India. Okay, they can collaborate immediately with the communication tool, MS tools, Teams or Slack, and they can sort out the issue within 1 hour or within half an hour. That's it. And enhanced quality. Let's say automation ensures consistent and reliable software delivery. So once the things has been the communication and collaboration is done, so you have the consistency and reliable software delivery also there. And we have efficient resource utilization. So as I told you, Terraform infrastructure as code optimizes resource management. So in the DevOps, once we are using Terraform, so your infrastructure, whatever you build, you can use it as a code. Okay, let's say you have a file or folder, you can send it anywhere. Okay, anywhere, any infrastructure. Let's say all your infrastructure has been built. Okay, and let's say you want to build a new infrastructure, any new company or any new organization, that same folder is enough for you. You do some little bit of changes, the naming convention or something, you can redeploy the complete project. Complete, you can immediately delete that in 1 day or 2 day. Again, you can set up a new infrastructure with new setup. Okay, you can also infrastructure, you can code your pipelines also, you can code your Docker, you can code your Kubernetes, everything you can do. Your all infrastructure you can use it and efficiently utilize that. Better customer satisfaction, quick and reliable releases lead to satisfied users also. Let's say your client is very happy. Previously it was cost, it was making more cost for him because one month, 2 months you have one release, and here 1 week, 2 week, and your project is ending in 1 month, 2 months. So obviously client is investing less money, so he's happy. So DevOps benefits are reliability, because we have all the things in our hand. So we are reliable, reduce time to recover as we have the collaboration and communication in place. We have reduced time, efficiency, we have lower risk, we have shorter dev cycle, we have stability, we have faster updates, better user experience, we have fewer failures, higher quality, faster productive product delivery, and cost savings. So because of the DevOps benefits, these all things are very much important for a client, and we all are delivering that through DevOps, right? So these are the couple of link where I was focusing on how. So let's say demanding upskilling courses for computer science engineers. One is machine learning, second is cybersecurity, third is full stack development, and fourth is cloud computing and DevOps. See, so this is the most demanding skills: cloud computing and DevOps. So you should learn it according to Times of India survey and all. So we have decided that. So they have done a survey of some 100 200 engineers, and they have done this, and they have got the uh, you know the survey. So let's go to the UK news also. We'll see how the DevOps demand in the UK market as well. So why DevOps jobs are in demand, and three roles hiring now. Okay. So first is DevOps engineer. Global professional services, Accenture is seeking DevOps engineer, where you engage directly with clients, build innovative and the software. Okay. So DevOps engineer in Manchester. DevOps engineer role offers an opportunity to join a rapidly growing DevOps enablement function, where a partner with the DevOps and we can grow the thing. So technology continues to affect almost every job in factory, behind desk, according to 2023 reports. Okay. So where people are shifting, it is just mentioning that where people are shifting. So DevOps to a permanent of development operations is a growth career path. See, it's a growth career path. Increasingly companies in and out of the tech industry require specialists who can sit and fulcrum of those two departments and streamline the software development life cycle. So despite the increasing importance of DevOps engineers, three remains a skill shortage. Okay. So 87% of employees are struggling not only attract but retain top talent. What is happening? DevOps is very, very demanding skills, but 80%, 87% of employers are not finding the right talent. So you understand, 87% require a job, a people who are very good in DevOps. Okay. So there are 80% jobs in the market. Okay. When it comes to work location flexibility, around 52% tech talent prefers a remote job. Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, we have so many jobs. If you are very good in your skills, you learn your skills, jobs are there. You understand? Out of 100%, 87% companies are struggling to get the right candidate. There are so many people are there. But are you good? You should focus. You should learn what is striving, what is exactly important for you. Okay. So next link, I will go to the Revalent group. Why DevOps? Right? Why DevOps earns so much? This is one of the Tech Revolution company. They have their news channel. How much you earn as a DevOps engineer? Okay. So DevOps is a hot area of the cloud. There is currently huge demand for DevOps engineer, AWS engineer or Azure DevOps engineer who can incorporate DevOps principles, application design and development. To understand why this is the case, you need to think about a business perspective. Businesses are not really concerned about the underlying infrastructure of an app. It does not do anything for them. It likes the cabling in your house. You don't need to know how it works if you just want to install a light bulb. Business leaders and hiring manager are more interested in what types of light bulbs they can install. What matters to them is application of cloud technology. They don't want to know the nuts and bolts of technology. They want to know how it can help them to cut cost, boost productivity, increase sales. So DevOps engineers are great communicators with a broad knowledge of engineering, operations, coding. They can work effectively cross departments to create present effective solutions that can increase productivity and profitability. So DevOps focus on everything, right? They focus on the code, they focus on the plan, they focus on the build, they focus on the test, they focus on the release, they focused on the deploy, they focus on monitor everything, right? They're in the middle, they are the backbone of the company. So if They are the backbone of a project, backbone of a company. Okay. So obviously they will get high salary, right? That's the obvious choice. So these are the link which I have found. You can saw so many links, so many news why DevOps is so much important. So landscape, there is a landscape I've just prepared. Rising demand. DevOps professionals are a high in demand due to industry shift toward agile and continuous delivery. What is agile and what is continuous delivery? You already know. Release one, release two, release three. Within 1 week, 2 week, we have to do the release. That is the agile. And diverse role. DevOps roles include DevOps engineers, release manager, automation engineer. So many roles are there. Let's say you have a DevOps engineer, you should know everything. You are a release manager, you should only understand about the release. What is you manage the releasing? Okay, release one, release two, release three. You should understand the release manager. Automation engineer, you should automate the task. Everything you are good in Bash, PowerShell, Python. You are automation engineer. Skill sets. In demand, skills include proficiency in version control, CI/CD, scripting, and automation tool. We already understood version control is Git, CI/CD Jenkins, scripting is Bash, PowerShell, or Python. Automation tools means we can use anything called Docker or Kubernetes and all. These all are for the CI/CD tools and all. So these all things are demand. So DevOps career path is junior DevOps engineer, entry level, mid level is DevOps engineer specialist role, senior level is DevOps architect or manager responsible for designing and implementing DevOps strategies. Okay. So this is a US career growth. Okay, how DevOps growth in the market and job. So a DevOps architect, okay, is getting 74,585 dollars. So you can convert it into rupees. Okay, 80 means nearly it is something around 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs per month. I'm telling. Okay, so data scientist is a 55,695. Okay, it's something around same like something around 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs. So DevOps also 54,118, same 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs and all. So rest in the top three, DevOps and DevOps architect are coming, right? So it's a very fortunate career and you should understand this. What is growth in DevOps till date? Key points are DevOps has witnessed widespread adoption across industries from startups to large enterprises. Many leading tech companies attribute their success to DevOps practices. Career opportunities, job posting for DevOps roles have consistently increased over the past decade, last 10 years. DevOps professionals enjoy competitive salaries and numerous career advancement opportunities. So, continuous integration and continuous deployment, right? And automation are now standard practices. Industry. DevOps is expanding beyond IT. It is used in fintech, it is going to healthcare, it is going to e-commerce. Every damn industry is using DevOps. Netflix, Zomato, you can see any name. Zomato is a food app, right? They are using DevOps. Netflix, it's a OTT, right? It's using DevOps. Anything in banking, everywhere in Citibank, in Northern Trust, in you go to any other damn bank in the DevOps is very important. UBS, DevOps, very big banks using DevOps. Any company you will go, like Swiggy, Zomato, they're using DevOps. Okay, Flipkart, Amazon, they are the e-commerce industry, they are using DevOps. So every big company's DevOps is must. Without DevOps, they can function because it's very easier. It's fastest growing, fastest releasing their applications. Previously, they were facing so much issues. Now implementing DevOps, their releasing is easier. Obviously, they will focus on that. Certifications, these are the couple of certifications I am just I can suggest you can do that. Okay, if you are focusing on skills, that's better, but certification is added advantage. Any big companies like Microsoft, Amazon, they focus on this. If you are Azure certified DevOps engineer, Microsoft, you may get a call. It's if you are a GCP certified, you will get a call from maybe Google. AWS certified engineer, you will get a call from Amazon. Docker certified, Kubernetes certified, you will get from Red Hat Linux, or Linux certified associate. So there are a couple of certifications, so many certifications in the market. Okay, at company wise certified, so you can do these certifications and you will have a very career perspective wise, you will have a very bright future, and you will get in good companies. If you want to go into tier 5 or sorry tier 4 or tier 3 companies, okay, so you can go, you can do these certifications. And skills is obviously important, but certification is your resume shortlisting thing. So continuous learning is a crucial, and various training programs support and development skill development. You join channel, you join, there are so many DevOps groups in LinkedIn, in Facebook. You can go there, explore, talk with people, DevOps community, join DevOps community, attend DevOps seminars. Okay, there are so many, like a meetup is there. There is, uh, I'll discuss something about these all things. First thing is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a better source where you can join so many groups, community where they help people for DevOps. Then Facebook. Facebook also, there are so many groups, community you can join to learn the DevOps or whatever the aspects of the company standards and all. Okay. Apart from that, Git, GitHub. If you have a GitHub account, you can connect with so many people. Okay. And you can connect with the community, and you can see the tutorial, and you can also take the advice of them. And apart from that, okay, there are so many channels, so many communications, and there are so many people who are, Meetup is one I am using. So Meetup, where you have so many seminars around across your place, or in India or in outside India, whatever the events, okay, like AWS meetups, okay, or Azure events, okay, or let's say GCP events, okay, let's say DevOps events. So there are so many things in the market. You can join Meetup, or there are so many other applications where you can join, and you can understand where the events are happening. You can go there, you can communicate with people, you can broaden your knowledge, and you can make a very good career. Just connect with right people, okay. Try to grow your knowledge, expand your knowledge. Obviously no one can stop you. That's it. Any help, any suggestions, you can give me, okay, or any help you need, you can ping me, okay. So in my video I have given my WhatsApp channel link, you can ping me there, or I have the Insta link, you can ping me there personally, or in YouTube also you can comment me if any further enhancements or any other videos you want to me to prepare on that. I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you for this. And keep learning, keep growing. Okay. Subscribe to my channel. Okay. Hi. Thank you.